I do
All
have a
right.
funny lit story.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just started it. Go for it.
And that's what she said? You're kidding me.
Well, in her defense, it's all she could think of.
Look,
Typical.
if you don't stop harassing the Girl Scouts, you're gonna get in trouble one day.
Look, I keep telling you and everything, I don't buy imitation. Okay? When I go to a lemonade stand, if it's not fresh squeezed lemonade, I'm not buying it. Okay? When Girl Scout cookies come up and they say, "Would you like to buy Girl Scout cookies?" I ask the obvious question. Are they made from Girl Scouts? And every time they look at me like, "No." I'm like, then no, I don't need any $5 imitation cookies. I'll pass.
That's false advertising.
Right?
Yeah, you got to get the Better Business Bureau involved in that one.
I agree. Definitely got to get the Better Business Bureau.
Okay, so where we left off last. Sorry, Grand Central Station.
Yeah.
Did you say bitter business?
I did. The Better Business Bureau.
I caught it when he said it. And I caught it when they said it. I was like, yeah, okay, I can roll with that.
That was good.
Got to
Sorry.
report them to the Better Business Bureau. Okay.
Hold on.
Ugh.
There's very important. There's something very important that we have to discuss real quick. It needs to be on the recording. I'm dead serious about this.
Doubt it.
Brooke, those are the most badass headphones I've ever seen.
Thank you. Check it out. They have lights on the ears.
Oh my
repeat.
They match.
gosh.
They match my mouth. It's
Oh
pink.
my gosh.
And my keyboard.
Hell yes.
The keyboard
That's
sells it right
amazing.
there.
Yes.
So our Lisa
Go
Frank
girl.
Tabaxi is well decked. She's ready to roll.
As she should be.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't think I was giving my neighbor across the street some false hope, I'd buy it myself.
Hey,
It's the best.
is it false hope though?
Every time I'm walking away from his house, that man grunts.
Oh
I'm-
my.
Just because it could
Wow.
be hope that's never fulfilled doesn't mean it's false. I'm just saying.
Bonus, at the end of the
This is-
session, I do have a funny story that none of you have heard. I've made sure that none of you have heard it, and it involves a lich. So I just want to put that out there. Miles, all
Ooh.
yours.
Fantastic. Where we left off, you guys had just hopped on that elevator, and we're heading up towards the entrance to the tower. As you're raising up, I guess I should say, does anyone have anything before I go any further? Last call, once, twice. Cool. As you're heading up, you're slowly raising. What this looks like is a much larger version of a very commonly used spell. I'm not going to make the spellcasters in our group roll for this at all. Actually, yeah, all of you can cast spells, so never mind. It's just a much larger version of Tensor's Floating Disc. It's a very common spell. It's just used to raise things and lower things. The usual one can only hold about 500 pounds. This one, though, dramatically larger. In fact, it's almost half the size of the entire courtyard you came.
That's kind
And
of
as it raises up, you're starting to get higher and higher, and you're starting to see over the surrounding wall around the grounds out into the city.
Ooh.
And it raises higher, and you're now probably somewhere ballpark maybe 10 stories up, and you're looking out further beyond the main walls of the city. And out there beyond the walls, you see the most lush countryside with rolling hills and farmland and these undisturbed snow-capped mountains, this beautiful blue sea over to the south, and it's all breathtaking. But as you're watching it and the elevator sort of comes to a slow halt at this huge open portcullis, you realize that you walked here, like you had your cart, you came this way when you left the farm, and you didn't see any of those things. It was a big open plain, but most of it, the grass was on its way towards dying because it was, just starting winter. The mountains had no snow on them though, and there was a giant dragon corpse laying next to one of them. And the sea was dark when you came through, not this bright blue. Something's weird. You don't know what, but everything you're looking at, it just seems off. It is.
What would River know about that? Like, because I didn't travel with them.
Everyone in this group can make an Arcana check if they want to.
Okay, my question is like you gave them the backstory of they traveled the countryside and walked through where the grass was dead, but now they can see it looks different. What would my experience be there?
That's an excellent point. So honestly, I don't know that you would know any different than what you're seeing. Because I can't think of a really good reason why River would even come up into the mage's tower, let alone get up on top of the wall to look out over the side.
Right, like have I
and
ever even left the
and
walls
she's
of
had-
the city?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, the city is so big and it's got so much in it, it's very unlikely that you've ever had a need to leave, especially since your whole family lives here.
Yeah.
But the rest of you, it comes off as odd. So yeah, I guess everybody but Brooke gets to make an Arcana check. Good call.
Thank you.
It's a bright and shiny 3 there,
I noticed nothing.
and a 5
Nothing.
and a 20 from Torch. Nice. I don't know if you're talking, Heather, but you're muted.
Hi. Sorry
Hi.
about that.
No, it's okay.
Arcana. There you are. I found it.
That 5 is why we're here at the Mage Tower. I don't know much about Arcana yet.
Fair. Dadu, Emir, the both of you, you look out at it and it seems odd, but that's about it. Torch and Tonks, this is nothing natural. You can't tell exactly what this is, but this is nothing natural. As I said, though, the elevator comes to a halt in front of a large open portcullis. The opening to this sort of archway is covered not in like runes, but in the individual symbols for the 9 houses of magic. And as you get closer to them, they all sort of bristle over with energy and light up, illuminating the exterior of this doorway and also the interior of the doorway. And you can see now inside of this room, it's a smaller room with like a few couches, a couple of chairs, and a table. And there's one large gate beyond it on the opposite side of where this opening would be that is closed. And on the table in front of that door is I want to be careful how I say this so that you get the idea. It's a large black cat. Not like magically large, but like imagine just a rather large cat. With long blue streaks that go from the side of its eyes all the way down to its tail.
Umbreon.
And
Like-
it appears.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and as all of you stand there, it appears to be waiting on you.
Is everything else in the room oversized too, or is everything else
Guys.
normal size but the cat's big?
What's up, Heather?
I would like to stop and say to my peers that this reminds me very much of the tavern that we were in when we first started this game. It has all the hallmarks to me. It feels weird, and this creature just walked up and wants to engage with us. I'm just saying,
Do
crazy
we
chick
see
here,
the
but
spiders?
Was I there
I
for that?
thought about that in so long.
Your
Good
character
call.
wasn't there. This was the first place that they started the game.
Okay, I was like, I don't know where.
No, that was
So,
good in character right there.
but yeah, absolutely, that's perfectly River right there. As Heather begins to, or Tonks begins to whisper about a thing that happened, and River peeks in and goes, "I don't know anything about this."
Never heard of that.
Yeah, this whole place, it looks very familiar and also new, but so almost like a like deja vu. You distinctly remember when you entered into the tavern back in Roost, that as you passed through the gateway and into the tavern, that the entire interior of it was different than what you had seen anywhere else in Roost. It seemed like everything there was made differently, much higher quality, no expense spent or no expense missed. Like everything here and everything there, it looks like they fit together like puzzle pieces. And you even remember when you were there that this place, the tavern, seemed remarkably like something you would find in Reef, at least from what the stories told. So this place looks very similar construction. This room itself is not familiar, but everything else about this place, it seems like something you've seen before.
Is there a window in the room?
The only opening to the outside from this room is the doorway leading into it that you're standing outside. I still haven't gotten clarity from any of you if you're stepping off the elevator into the room.
Yes, I want to walk up to the doorway.
I have to take a moment to recognize the frosted mini woot.
Not wheat, woot.
That's what I said. Frosted mini woot. William's laughing so hard the video's shaking.
Kiddo, you should really rename that again. To Kiddo. Rename Lord Daddy.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't gotten any clarity from anybody if you're stepping off the elevator into the room yet. I just want to know that for certain.
Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna pop into the room.
Okay. As you pass through the gateway, you can feel it's almost like if you've ever stepped out of a hot shower into a cold room, you feel how it almost feels like you're transitioning into a totally different thing, like stepping into a bathtub. You can feel the separation between the air and the water. It just has a different density to it. That's sort of what it feels like as you step between. It's like you sort of stepped through a bubble. It had just enough
Where are you
surface
at?
tension for you to feel it pull at you, but not enough to repel you. And as you step inside, the noise, the sound of the outside of the world below you and all of that stops. And you hear very light string music.
Can I make an investigation check?
Sure.
I'm really missing my detect good and evil. Or I might detect evil or whatever it was that I had. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Okay, so 14. Yeah, so Ryan, tell me, what are you trying to do? Like, I can give you all sorts of details about this room, but I want to be more specific of what you want.
I was agreeing with with Tonks in that this seems a lot like that building was. And in that building, I found a secret door and things weren't what they were seeing. So I just want to know how much of this is really real and how much of this is meant to look real.
So you don't really have a way to detect illusions with any of the things you have, so you can't really tell immediately what all of this is. But a 14 in investigation, I mean, you can essentially, like, for lack of a better word, toss the room. You can walk from one side to the other, checking things out, pushing on walls, sitting on couches, like trying to feel your way around the place. But other than what you're seeing, it doesn't seem like it's that odd. In fact, as you're moving about the room, the cat just slowly watches you move from one side of the room to the other and watches you touch everything. It doesn't seem to react much at all, just keeping an eye on you.
All right, so after I've done that and I'm not really picking up on anything, I'd like to go sit about 3 feet in front of the cat.
'Kay.
I'm just gonna look at it as it's looking at me.
I can't do anything with that. I don't have access to any of that. Anyway, yeah, you sit there and just watch the cat, and you can see its eyes are this sort of, I don't know, bright, almost violet color. And they shimmer in the light. But beyond that, there's not a whole lot going on. It's just sort of staring at you very patiently.
Okay.
You can just barely hear it purring. Meow. Sorry, dog joke.
Ember would
No, I imagine not.
I'm starting to get jealous. I need to get my dog in here.
That's not anything you should be calling her.
It's my dog.
This is your dog.
Crap, did she hear? Okay, cool.
Call
I
your
didn't
dog.
make any distinction on who that was. Your face got real guilty real quick though.
There's 5 suspects in the house.
So
Only
Ryan,
5?
Ryan walks or Daddy walks around the room and sort of inspects things, and after moving around the space, goes and sits down in a chair in front of the cat. I assume a chair, Ryan. I assume you're not just like posted up on the floor.
Oh no. I'm totally Indian style. 3 feet from the cat on the floor.
Okay, cool.
Crisscross applesauce. Sorry.
Is it,
That's what my
is it
kids do to me
taboo
all the
these days
time.
to say Indian style? Is that not
No,
okay?
you're not allowed to say that anymore.
Really?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
culturally insensitive. I know. I grew up saying it too. And it still feels weird to say it the other way.
Really weird.
But
I
it's
was
also
only joking.
it's also, you know, that.
Tomorrow. Anyhow, move on.
Right.
Crisscross applesauce. In
Okay.
front of the cat.
Right, got you. What about the rest of you? We got your mic is mute. There you go.
I said, I don't know what's going on because children.
The only thing you've missed is Ryan walked inside the room, rolled a 14 on investigate, and checked out the whole room, and then sat down on the floor in front of the cat.
In front of the cat. Okay.
Yeah, nobody else has done anything yet.
Thank you. I feel like I would probably have some kind of connection with the cat, right?
I mean,
Ooh.
Because I am a cat.
You know, but are you?
I'm a tabaxi. I'm a cat,
Uh-huh.
right? I don't know.
And some of us are related to chimpanzees, but that doesn't mean we all climb trees really well.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we are related. Do I have a connection with it? Can I understand?
Not just because you're a tabaxi. That's not how that
Okay.
works.
That's what
If
I'm
you
asking.
if you have something that allows you to speak with animals, like if you were a druid or a ranger or something like that, or there's a spell called Speak with Animals, then you
Okay.
could do it.
Okay.
But cats and dogs and animals, they have their own language that isn't anything that a normal mortal would get. Anywho.
I'll
Kelly,
let
go ahead.
Ryan have a moment. I was just going to wait my turn.
Okay, gotcha. How long? I'm just there's no right or wrong answer here. How long do the rest of you wait on the elevator? Just give me a ballpark.
No, I'm following along right behind Brian. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm not standing in front of, I'm like, I don't know. We're just in this little room, right? There's nowhere to go.
Okay, as each of you move into the room, the same thing that I described to Ryan happens, that it feels almost like you step through a bubble. There's just enough resistance for you to feel it, but not enough to keep you out. And when you do, it goes quieter,
Okay.
and then you can hear the music. And the room, like I said, it's not especially big.
Thank you.
It's probably like 15 by 15. Um, it's decorated very simply, but everything is sort of luxury. A lot of purple, a lot of gold. As all of you enter into the room, the cat looks up from you, Ryan, to the rest of your group that's come in, and then looks back down at you and goes, "All right, so let's go."
Just like that.
And stands up and turns around and starts walking back over to the door. And as it does, the door slides open and a large metal gate raises up, and you see the remainder of this floor, which is this massive, sprawling labyrinth of hallways and libraries upon, or shelves upon shelves of library, these books and scrolls and tomes and remoras and things that are just preserved from time itself, because inside of this space is contained from the outside of the space. So inside here, things like air can't upset the pages. They'll last longer. The cat swishes its tail behind you, and you can see just a faint blur in it. And it looks back at you and says, "So who are you here to see?"
I very proudly step forward and say, a librarian.
Can I see your sigil?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I pull it out of my
Cloak.
shirt.
Hauberk?
I don't know why that word escaped me, but yes, out of my shirt.
It looks closely and goes, "Flip it around." Okay, you're going to want to go to divination if that's who you're here to see.
Actually, I was hoping for enchantment.
Well, I can take you to enchantment. I hope you have the proper warding. You all are very oddly dressed for wizards.
Would there be an artificer available?
Yes, absolutely. But I'm confused. Are you here for divination or enchantment or artifice?
Inquiring minds want to know. Lots of things.
Are you part of the tour?
Just a quick question: isn't Emil with us?
I don't know. Did you bring him up here with you?
Yeah, we brought him with us because he's supposed to be going into the tunnel with us.
Yeah, I just didn't think that you brought him up into the
Oh.
tower with you.
I thought the tower was our entrance into it, so I thought he was coming with us.
He's
No, it's not.
attached to Dado.
Yeah, he's kind of hanging out with me.
I mean, he's attached as far as the two of you have to like not die. But yeah, that's fine. I just didn't realize you had brought him with you. Then yeah, he's there.
I didn't know if maybe it'd be wiser to have him start speaking.
So if the giant black cat asks if you're part of the tour, do you say you're part of the tour or do you say you're not part of the tour? Hold on.
If you actually want to ask that question, your character can roll insight.
Can I assist?
Uh,
I nudge the bard.
I use Bardic Inspiration. Or I don't know. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Or you could roll a Heather.
I'll do it. I mean, oh God, now I'm nervous. Okay.
I can't tell
Right.
if that was in character or not.
Totes.
Totes malotes.
So what am I rolling?
What are you rolling?
Insight, please.
Oh,
Sorry.
Does anybody have a better than a +3 to insight?
I don't think so.
I have a
I got a
+4.
+4.
I got a -2.
yeah, both Tonks and
Oh!
Torch have a +4.
Boom.
Nice.
Kiddo, in case you were wondering, that was a 20.
Nice.
And
That's a solid Heather. Yeah, so insight check on the cat. It seems like this thing is being incredibly welcoming and is absolutely confused because usually when people come in the door, they have a plan for what class they're trying to get to or who they're here to see. And all of you have different ideas on what the hell is going on. And so the only thing it can possibly guess is maybe you don't know where you're going and you're part of the tour group.
Maybe we should be part of the tour group.
I'm gonna leave that at the Torch. Torch, are we part of the tour?
Torch.
Is that what we're?
So
I'm
sorry,
all like,
Torch.
I thought. Like, aren't we here to see the wizard?
Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Right? We have a scepter that we're trying to for him to figure out, like, if that does anything. Right? Right? No? Isn't that our end goal? Or did I not follow along?
Okay, so there's the lion. I guess I'd be the Tin Man. That makes you Dorothy.
Kiddo's Toto, right? Yeah, it all works.
The Scarecrow doesn't have a brain, right? I'll be the Scarecrow.
I guess that would make Dadu Toto.
No, Kiddo's Toto.
Oh.
Oh, so you're the Wicked Witch.
Wicked
If the ruby shoes fit.
They're Velcro. They fit often. Saying.
If anyone is stealing shoes, we know who.
Also true.
So we're waiting on an answer here, guys. TikTok.
Torch, it's
Are
up to
you
you.
part of the group or not?
We're not part of the tour group, right? Aren't we trying to? We are. Who are we here to see? Aren't we? We're.
I'm hearing for enchantment spells. That's what I'm here for.
We have a few different.
Right, we have a few objectives, right? Like
Would
whose
it be
goal wants
better
to go
to-
first?
I mean,
Do we want to divide and conquer for once?
Oh, never split the party.
That's
I'm just
usually in a
thinking-
dungeon. That's the thing that everyone says, but that's usually for a dungeon. If you're in a city, it's less likely that it's going to be a problem.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine with
The
splitting it.
DM is grinning evilly at us. He said less likely. He didn't say no.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to say no because if I say no and then you go into the next room and you pick a fight with a guy, then I'm like, well, now you're in a fight.
There's a guy to fight in the next room. Let's go.
Just like an army.
Hey, Eric, A is for arrogance. Just saying.
And so is R. It's for-
Arrogance.
Arrogance.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was really pretty. My bad.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Then if you need. How am I supposed to do this? Okay.
I look
if
at
you're
the
look-
group
Be the cat.
and I say, Kelly,
Yes.
what would you like to do here?
if you're looking for enchantment, the enchantment classes are on the 3rd floor. If you said you're looking for what? Who else?
Artificer?
Oh, yes. You can find the artifice out back.
Oh.
And,
Divination.
well, if you're interested in divination, you can follow.
I say stay safe, and I start making my way to the third floor.
Okay.
You did hear him about having the proper warding, right?
Uh,
I'm an arrogant paladin. Yeah, absolutely. I got the proper wording. Besides, and I pat my pocket. Pretty sure I've got a. Pretty sure I've got a. Oh, I can't think. Cheat code. I can't think of the medieval term.
for what?
For cheat code?
Ace up my sleeve. I got ace up my sleeve. I'm good.
So the interior of this place is far more, normal than you would have expected. There are stairwells and things like that, so it's easy enough for you to find your way up. As you pass the second floor, you are passing by all of the illusion classrooms. And you can only barely tell that they're illusions because there are about 7 times more doors than you would expect on this floor. Also, there's a T-Rex. And as you pass by the T-Rex that tries to bite you but can't because it's not really there, you end up on the third floor with enchantment. Now, the moment that you hit this floor, you smell something pungent but not foul. Think, I don't know, think something in between cotton candy and propane.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And along one wall, there are 3 humanoids that are all passed out. Across from them, leaning up against the other wall, is an elf sort of doing this, and you see him tracing a sigil into the air, apparently casting some sort of spell on them. Through the door immediately adjacent from the stairwell, though, you find the enchantment lecture hall. It looks as though the class is only just beginning to fill in. Lots of young wizards, all dressed in their finest, and a very, very old looking owl standing at the front of the classroom on top of its perch. What are you looking for here? This is me, the DM. What are you looking for here?
Those 3 spells actually.
Okay.
I was hoping to find a book or a scroll that I could take with me and practice it and learn it and go through it. Pretty sure I sent it to you a while back.
Let's see. Nothing would surprise me.
Ironically, we've talked a lot since.
No. Here we are. Got it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you're looking for things that are more in alteration than containment of people and things and memories and whatnot. So the door adjacent from where you are on the far left-hand side of this hallway, in a corner, is marked supplies. And at the other side of that corner is another door that's marked library.
I ask permission to enter your library and search for the spells that I'm specifically interested in.
Are you asking who? The owl?
Yes.
So you enter into the classroom and walk up to this humanoid-sized owl that is standing on top of a rather large perch. And at that point was mostly just paying attention to everyone filing in for the class. But then as you approach, goes and draws its gaze over to you in a very awkward way as it rotates its head to an unnatural position. You're looking for supplies? Are you looking for... We're not going to be going over much in the way of mind-altering spells today. It's mostly in the way of like containment spells. Like sleep or things of that nature. If you're looking to join the advanced class, I might be able to get you in.
I don't want to interrupt your class. So do you want if I sit in on this one and we talk more about it afterwards?
It's always an option.
Yeah, absolutely.
There should be some room in the back.
As quietly as I can, I make my way to the back and I seat myself.
Excuse me. Who are you?
They call me Amir.
Amir. It is a pleasure to have you in my class. You walk back to the back of the room and take a seat. And the elf that you saw outside sort of side eyes over you and goes, teacher's pet. So Ryan, you walk out back, and as you walk through the center of the first floor, through the main library, you see that there's a lot of students here that appear to be going through and doing research. And as you get to the far side of the room, you meet up with what must be the tour group. As it seems like a lot of wide-eyed young people are walking around in just slack-jawed awe of what they're seeing. And you can tell you've gotten to the right place. There's these two large sort of bronze doors that have filigreed knotwork throughout and giant sort of sculpted glass that looks like a beholder. And you can see reflected through the glass sparks.
Interesting. Can I see what's causing the sparks, or
Not without going through the door.
all right, through the door we go.
Okay. You push the door open and immediately are just berated, overwhelmed with this din, this nasty, loud sound of metal crunching against metal. And you can hear hammers and axes tearing through what looks to be some sort of massive contraption that's gone very wrong, and they are now in the middle of disassembling. There's a Furbold standing in the center of the room with a very large wrench on his back, directing everybody. No, if you do that, it's going to blow your head right off. Yes, no, back up. Turns around and looks at you. How can I help you?
I'm looking for an artificer.
You've entered the right spot, son.
Great. I have a belt buckle that means rather a lot to me, and I'd like to make it something to where my friends and I can go for a swim without having to come back up for air for a while. There's
You want to be
a-
able to breathe underwater?
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking for an artificer to bless my buckle to allow that to happen.
There's about 6 students behind this person that all stop what they're doing. Tools stop, the sound of grinding metal stops. And the furball puts a thumb and finger to its nose. There's nothing blessed about what we do here. This is science. This is work.
To be fair, I was just trying to put it in a polite way. I didn't know the proper term that an artificer, as wise as you, might use to say how to put a spell into an object. I don't
The students behind all start to laugh, and one glance puts them all back to work.
I can admire someone who can, with a glance, make people do what they're supposed to be doing.
This is their final project, and if they don't get back to work, I don't pass them. But if you're looking for some help, there might be somebody here that can help you.
Is Sawyer coming here?
Not that I know.
I would be very, very grateful.
Head over to the board over there. Anyone that's looking for any extra work, they post up their information. I just try to refrain from using terminology you're not 100%. It makes all of us feel bad for you.
I shall try.
He's
Thank you.
just grumpy ass 7-foot tall furball.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna walk over to where he told me to go.
Good for you. Goes back to work. All right, time to get this moving. And the noise actually doubles. It just becomes so loud as every person in the room grabs a tool and tries to do something to keep the professor from getting pissed at them. You walk over to, there's this whole posted board where they've got tacked up notes and little cards and signs that have been put up. And you see that there's the information for various different people. There's one that looks like a very sort of well constructed little copper card that has little gears that are constantly turning that show the address of their shop, their specialties, and their name, just on a rotation. There's a couple of them that have flames that spark off of them as you touch them. A lot of them are very poorly designed, but there are a few really impressive ones.
I like the gear one.
Okay. I assume you're going to take that down?
Yeah.
Okay. After you take that down, you find yourself in this place with all these people, and you see far down one of the sort of laneways, the little aisles in between all of these different projects. There is this little kobold that is trying very, very hard to get this massive automaton to stand. And you see that hanging on the front of the workbench is the same design as on the card.
All right, so I'm gonna approach that slash the cobalt, and I'm gonna start by asking, can I help you get that standing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really supposed to get outside help. It's kind of against the rules.
Oh, to be fair, I have your card here, and the professor said that if I'm looking for someone to help me out with what I need, to come talk to somebody from this board, and you're the one that I picked for it.
Just this wash of relief goes across their face. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so happy that you're here. I've never, I mean, well, no, of course, I've had tons of jobs before. I'm really glad you're here. It's very nice to meet you. Yes,
I mean,
that's my card.
From this card, I can believe it. It is some nice work. But I thought maybe if I helped you stand that up and everything, maybe we could get to looking at what I need help with. It's up to you, no pressure.
It needs a battery. And I'm not entirely sure that I'll be able to find one. I'm trying to figure out whatever I can to get it to move, but without proper power, it's just not gonna do it. And I have to turn this in soon. But I mean, if you can help me find a battery for it, that'd be fantastic.
Are there
You don't
any
have-
shops in town that might have one?
I don't know. I've tried every place that I can think of, but maybe you have contacts in the city. I don't. I don't leave the tower very often.
I know a couple people. I can put the word out, see what we can't find for you. What kind of battery do you need?
They rush over to the table and pull out this blueprint and roll it up and hand it to you. It's an arcane battery type 2. They're very volatile if they're not contained properly, but when used rightly, you can just make about anything move.
Okay, well, I'll definitely see what I can do for it and everything. Do you mind if I discuss with you what I need?
Not at all, but goes and spits in his hand and hands it out to you. My name's Fickle.
Hi, Fickle. I'm gonna spit in my hand, throw it right back in his. My name is Lord Dadu.
Wow, I've never met a lord before. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
Now you have.
So, what can I do you for?
I'm gonna pull out my belt buckle. I'm gonna say, "This is my belt buckle." It
That's a
means
very
lot
nice
to me.
belt buckle.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. I'm having a custom belt made for it.
Oh,
I'd like to, Fickle, I gotta be honest, I don't know the proper word for it, but I need to be able to put the spell, or the magic for it, whatever you want to call it, of being able to breathe underwater for myself and some companions into this belt buckle. And I need it to recharge itself daily.
well, the infusion won't take too much. That's pretty simple. But getting it to refresh itself, that is a little bit more complex. What are you willing to spend on this? I mean, I'm gonna write off my work if you can find my battery, but I mean the parts aren't always like that easy to come by either. So if you can just tell me what your budget is.
Not sure that I have a budget. But
does that mean no money or lots of money? I'm not really sure what that means.
it means I'd put at least 500 gold into it if I need to.
What? Fantastic. Okay. Well, I guess we're in business then.
All right. So 500 gold and you can get it done?
I don't know that it's going to take 500 gold, but knowing that I've got 500 to work with means that I can definitely get this done.
Great. Now, Fickle, I do need this to work as lives will depend on it. You understand me? I don't need anything half-assed. I get real grumpy real fast when things don't work.
I'm the first artificer in my family, but everyone before me was a watchmaker. We don't fuck around.
Great. Now, let me see if I can't find locate my friends and see if we can't find this battery for you. Thanks for the blueprint for it.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
How can I find you again?
Well, I'm going to be here for the rest of the semester,
Okay.
so I'll be right here.
All right. My friends and I, we've got a few other things that we got to get done. But yeah, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can with this. Do I need to leave my belt buckle with you, or are you going to do other things and I just need to come back when I need to get it finally done?
Just give it to me and I'll make sure that it's taken care of.
I'm gonna trust you with that pickle. By the way,
I
there's
don't-
a bit of blood on it and everything. Don't mind that.
That's all right. I skipped lunch too.
Oh, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna hand that to him, and I've got his blueprint. How do I
Great.
get back to the group?
I back out the way you came, as far as you know.
Okay,
Um,
so
I'm gonna cut over to the rest of our group that went to the divination area.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna make my way back to them.
I assume.
Okay.
Um. So an Arcana check, is that an intentional? Torch rolled an Arcana check of 20. Oh,
That was in the beginning.
oh, that's weird. It just popped up on my thing again. Oh yeah, I see it. That's odd. Anyway. So yes, you follow the cat into the divination wing. Now, unlike the rest of the school that looks like it's very well put together, ancient, of course, inside, but very well maintained. The hallway to divination appears to go through a very narrow corridor that's got tons of supplies and looks like old furniture and things stacked up all over the place. There's no lights down part of the hallway, and the part that is lit flickers. And you come to this very plain wooden door with a sign that's been nailed into it that says divination. The cat pushes the door open with its paw and walks inside and hops up on the desk. Sitting in the chair is a half elf with a long blue coat covered in black knotwork. Think colonial American coat. Big black boots propped up on the desk. Long, large brim hat pulled down over this black blue hair. Snoring. Around on every wall, there are magic mirrors. On every shelf, there are crystal balls. There's a large well in the center of the room that has a reflecting pool in it. And there are so many odds and ends of spell components just strewn around this place. Stacks and stacks of rotten grimoires of ancient spell work. And nobody here but this one wizard. The cat is now sitting on the desk and nods over to the bell that's on the table.
Someone gonna ring it? Or didn't they know we were coming?
Can I ask a tiny question?
Sure.
You mentioned earlier that the entrance had the 9 houses of the wizard school.
Yeah.
What are they?
Oh yeah. So let me get my list here. Here. There's abjuration.
You're on
Conjure-
mute, William.
There's abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and transmutation. Now that's 8.
Oh, I was.
The 9th one is artifice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that I'm not muted, that was a perfect bard question, Heather. That was curious and asking something that the rest of us are too afraid to ask. Awesome.
So yeah, is anybody gonna ring the bell?
I'll ring the bell.
Cool. Imagine like, a turn of the century type of ding. When you hit it though, it doesn't just ding, it dings, and then you can hear it echoing off of like 8 different places in the room. And the
Maybe I
wizard,
dance a little bit.
the wizard at the desk goes and flips their hat off and runs one huge hand over their face. Faust, what did I tell you about touching the belt? Hasn't even opened his eyes. It was a perfectly lovely dream, one where we weren't trapped inside of a closet. Oh, what are you doing here? Did you let in strays, Faust? Looking over at the cat.
Faust.
Well, out with it. You've come to divination. You must need answers of some kind. The only time anyone ever comes out here anymore is when they need that.
What do we come here for, guys?
I mean, it was Torch's idea.
I have no idea what you guys would do.
Didn't a while ago, we wanted them to check out some magical items for us or something, or am I making that up?
I thought Emil was the one who identified the magic items.
Emil did, but I thought there was something else that we needed from the tower.
The last thing that I remember about anything you needed in this tower was that you met those wizards in the tavern. And you took their sigil from them.
At the risk of metagaming, we were kind of curious what took out a dragon. And since this is the most powerful area, divination might be a place to start asking that question, but I would caution a little bit of paranoia in asking that question.
Thank you, backseat DM. There was a wink there.
I caught it.
That would be an excellent question to ask.
So we asked him, did they see the dragons die? No one else saw the dragons die.
Well, you could ask him, did you see the dragon die, or what caused the huge beam of light, or anything like that.
Why are we the only ones who saw it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna ask that question?
Yeah, we're asking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All of these ideas are just spewing out.
Slow. Nope, that's a lot of things at once. Okay, just let's start at the beginning. There was a dragon, and
Red dragon,
uh-huh.
right?
You saw a dragon flying at the city, and then it just disintegrated. When did you say this happened? Any idea?
Yeah, we don't know how long ago. Days ago now, right? Days.
It's only been what, 3 or 4 days since we've been in there?
And I think it was 5 or 6 days travel time from where we were to the city.
No, it's only 2.
Was it?
Well, we were right outside the city when we saw it happen. Then we traveled 2 days, I think, back to the dragon to loot it. So then 2 more days back to the city again.
Fair enough.
So yeah, about a week,
Okay, sure.
give or take. Okay. Have you told anybody else about this?
No, we haven't, because we didn't even ask anybody.
They told me about it. I wasn't
well,
there.
Between the group, didn't we tell the
We asked,
blacksmith lady?
Yeah, we asked the blacksmith lady.
Oh,
And
yeah.
wheel, and I guess that's it so far.
One of those the iron people. Them?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Brooke, I'm so happy you joined the group. I'm dead serious.
Thank you.
Um,
I don't say much, but when I do, William falls over laughing.
I can't help it.
I do love the picture that every time that River's in the room and not speaking, she's just standing there. I'm here too. Um, okay, so that's unusual. Have you noticed anything else that seems out of sorts? Look, I might be the only person in this tower that's going to take you seriously, so you should probably start doing
Just in
Well,
case anybody's
honestly,
curious. Go ahead, Heather. You're good. No, go.
it.
No,
William's not
My
even
bad.
here.
That's what I was gonna say.
oh, honestly, I gotta be. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
I gotta be honest with you. I found it kind of strange that the surroundings of this city look different than they did when we walked in here.
Different how?
We walked in through what basically looked like a barren wasteland, and from here it looks lush and green.
Go ahead and roll an insight check, Heather.
Sorry. Insight.
Ooh.
Oh,
No, that's
oops.
okay. That's okay. Yeah, so the look on this wizard's face says that they are not believing you. You're going to have a very hard time trying to explain that to anybody else here. But it just so happens that if you're going to look out anywhere, one of these crystal balls is far better than any telescope.
Oops.
Goes and walks over to one of the tables and takes over one of the crystal balls and sits it down on the table. I usually charge 150 gold pieces for this. If you're right, I'll eat my hat. If you're wrong, you're paying me double.
Deal, we're not wrong.
I can tell who the
So
leader
assertive.
is. Snaps a finger, and you see that the 4 copper braziers that were on the exterior walls of this room that were slightly illuminating the space all begin to pour sand into a large cloud over the top of the ball, and then illuminates in this green light as the crystal ball lights up. And you can see this sort of iris, like an eye, opens, and then light erupts from the inside of the sphere outward. And the wizard's eyes glaze over. I'm looking. Everything in the city seems fine. Well, fine for this city. Nothing out of sorts. How far out did you go? Was it
Didn't we learn, it's 2 days, right? 2 days?
2 days travel? North or south?
Should just remember the detail.
Did you
I don't remember.
did you
swear
come
I
by
pay
land or
attention.
by sea? By land or by
Land.
sea?
By land.
Right?
So to the north. Oh my gods.
Oh, you literally just said that 15 minutes ago.
I don't remember it either.
Like, I swear I
And
pay attention. Nope.
just watching this thing just sort of and everything sort
Jeez.
of just stops for a minute.
Your screen froze. I thought you froze.
What? What is going on? Is this a trick? You can tell Ivor that if he wants me to quit, he's gonna have to come down from his ivory fucking tower and tell me himself.
Tell
I don't need to hear any more of this bullshit. I don't need any of these illusions. I don't need people fucking with me.
who? So there is an illusion. You admit. So
I admit that whatever the hell this is seems very convincing.
but you
What's
can't
been
tell what
going
it is either. You can tell there's
I'm-
magic, but you can't tell what it is.
I can tell that whatever this is a very elaborate ruse to get the better. And if it's not him, it's somebody else here that thinks that I'm an ass. And I'm not going to fall for it again. The last time I
William is
raised an alarm for
convulsing.
something that wasn't real.
You're muted, William.
What
It-
what
it's
has
not the
Ivor been
room.
doing to you?
Who's Ivor?
These are-
That's something that you actually would know, your character anyway.
Oh, great.
The Archmage Ivor was the one who rose Ivor Tower, the one you're in right now.
Oh, that makes
Uh,
sense.
and also the essentially the one in the world that is known to possess the most magical aptitude. Though they haven't been seen for about 100 years.
Okay.
So this guy
Make-
thinks they're praying.
Make a persuasion check.
Who?
who?
The lot of you. Pick one of you to make the roll, and then
I got a
anybody
plus
else can-
5.
You beat me.
Yeah, pick one of you to make the roll, and if somebody wants to, you can assist.
I have a +6.
Ooh,
Okay, she's doing it.
And somebody else
Oh,
assists her.
fuck.
Go, girl.
Okay.
Somebody else assists her.
Where? What do I do?
Persuasion.
Just
Correct.
pick
Oh, I
up
just
the
click
plus
on it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Corch, can you assist her? Since you have +5?
How do
Oh,
I
That's a
assist
20.
again? Oh, we're good.
Oh, shit, never
We're
mind.
good.
Yeah,
That's a dirty 20. We'll take that. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
So that definitely beats his insight check. um, looks across the three of
Let
you,
Maxie know. Sorry.
and the look of sort of bitter amusement and distrust starts to fade away into this sort of unbelievable confusion. You're not lying to me, are you? This isn't a trick at my expense.
Nope.
He looks over at the cat and goes, Faust, did you let in people that aren't even wizards this time? The cat just looks over at him and continues to. All right. Waves a hand and the door closes and locks 17 different types of locks.
I have the strangest feeling I'm in the wrong place.
Okay. Was the world outside of our walls like that when you got here? Or was it like that before you got here? That may sound like a trick question, but it's not. I need to know what you remember that I might not. You want to make a history check, those of you that came in from outside?
Why, yes, yes, I do.
I'm watching the log. Shut up.
Everything comes back to it.
Shut up.
Oh,
Wow, way to roll, William.
Man, you Williamed up that roll so hard.
Come on,
What-
Kelly, you got this.
It's funny, but it's true.
oh my goodness, y'all.
Wow.
Can she assist?
Wow.
Can River assist?
Can I help them?
She can't because she didn't
I
come
wasn't
from
there.
outside the tower.
Hey, if either of you have inspiration, you might want to use it to try again. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, kiddo. They both rolled 3s.
They both
Yeah.
rolled nat ones.
So
and got
so-
+2 modifier.
that's the thing that you should be highlighting here. It's not that it's a 3. They rolled one.
No. They rolled once. Oh,
neither
no.
neither one of you can remember accurately for how long it's been like. You know that you traveled through it like that, but you can't remember at all if it was like that before you got there. There's nothing you remember being told. You don't remember reading anything in a book. There wasn't a map you looked at one time. You just traveled through it. You don't have any new information to give him.
Passing notes that day in history class was far more important.
So yeah, he's asking you if you remember it being anything. Has it always been like that?
As far as we know.
The look on your faces tells me everything I need. All right. Okay. So the first thing that I need us to do is make sure that we don't panic. Now I know that the reaction most people have to somebody saying that is immediately to panic, but I'm asking you to please fight that urge. Don't panic.
Shit, not this group.
The second thing is, you said you told a blacksmith. What did you tell him? Look, I'm probably the last person that you need to fear in here. And I know that if I wasn't, never mind. Look, they could be in danger right now if someone else knows what we know. Because if there's something that's affecting this much out there, what this means is either what you passed through was some sort of an elaborate illusion, or what we're living in is. And either way, that takes an amount of magic that is uncalculable. And that is terrifying. So please, keep this as quiet as you can. Goes and reaches into his pocket and hands to you these little stones that look almost like earbuds. These are sending stones. If you hold them to your ear, you can use the message spell between the two of them. As long as they're on the same plane of existence, they'll still talk. I've got 2 that I can spare. And I have 1 myself. This is incredibly troublesome. And I hope that we can find a way to fix this. But right now, being in this building is probably the most dangerous thing possible for all of you. Because if you know this, and this is the center for all magic in the world, then I would fucking guarantee it that someone here knows something. And I'm the head of divination. And if I didn't see it, that's even more scary. But we're not going to put this to bed. I'm going to find out more. I'm going to figure out what I can here. Please try your best to keep this as quiet as you can. And I will give you information when I can. A dragon. This city hasn't seen a dragon in 300 years. I haven't even heard of one this close in at least 100. They're dangerous but majestic fucking creatures. They should not be put down like dogs.
I have a question. Can I ask a
What?
question?
What's your question?
Point of clarification. You're saying that either the dragon was an illusion and the like dead grass between the mountains and the city, or what they're seeing as they look out of the tower is an illusion?
One or the other.
We have dragon scale, right? So
I
that's
have
not
to
an
have-
illusion.
You gave all the dragon skill to the armorer.
They have coins, like they have the other treasure.
Actually, who was the person who got the first item? Because you already picked that one up.
Torch.
Torch.
Or no. First person with an item was Heather.
Heather's vest, right? William froze.
Oh no.
Okay, people make jokes at him. He would appreciate it.
What do you call a frozen William?
I don't know what.
I don't know. I was hoping he'd unfreeze by now. I got a punch for it.
Williams.
There he is. I see you now. You're moving.
Oh, gee, did it freeze?
Yes.
Yes, for a long
Oh,
time.
You're gonna
It
have
froze
to
pretty much from the moment you referenced Heather. Everything from that point is frozen.
You got everybody's attention and then froze.
And then you were gone.
Fine,
It
I'll
was
do it
like a
again.
whodunit movie where somebody stabbed you as soon as you found the killer.
Okay, just checking.
Right, you do have something behind you. Like, what is the blanket floating in the middle of your?
There's a couple
Right?
of ghosts. There's like 2 ghosts and a blanket.
Is it a
No,
blanket?
those are
fort?
curtain. Those no. So you already passed it. I think it's like a blanket over the vacuum or something. Like what was?
No, it
the...
was over
No,
the
on the other
post
side
on
of the
the
room.
end of the
No,
bed.
no, no. Yeah.
Post at the
That's
end of the bed.
the-
All right, that's what
Yeah,
that is. Okay, because on the background it just looks like a creepy little kid standing with a blanket on his head.
You're like, there's nobody behind me. No, William, there is.
That's what it looked like to me.
Signal ends. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? No, what I
Whatever
actually
comes
said
back
was-
on camera, I need you to roll initiative.
Or somebody else comes back on. Don't worry about it. No, what I said was the thing, the spaghetti string, the vest.
The vest. You're right. So
I'll
Heather
flash
has a
it.
vest made out of red dragon scales.
So I just go up and flash my chest.
Right.
Very Bardley. Yeah, it's me.
You don't believe me? Check this out.
Damn it! I went to the wrong place.
Say goodbye to these. Sorry. So sorry. I see
Anyway.
I've got Arrested Development friends. Thank goodness.
Oh God, yes, I love Arrested Development. Okay. Yeah, upon seeing the dragon scale you're wearing, the look just gets even more confused and concerned. That's really impressive, but that's also so fucking bizarre. Stay safe. Don't trust anyone here. If you need me, call me. And goes and hands you a sigil for the School of Divination. You don't need to sneak around anymore. Nobody takes my classes anymore. I can hand these out however I like.
5 of those.
If you ask for me, the name's Muldair.
Mulder.
Somebody should write that down, probably.
Heather, I don't want you to think that we assume that you do that. So if you could write that down, that'd be fantastic.
Yes, that's what I
Agree.
meant.
I really think that at some point people should start like paying for dinner for Heather on game nights because everyone's expecting her to be writing notes.
Is that Muldair or?
Muldare.
What's mother right?
There you
I
go.
did not.
Good job, Beto.
Professor Octavius Muldair.
Hang on,
If-
throwing weird hard words in there.
Yeah, you don't have to use the whole name.
God, it's so
Um,
cool.
And whatever you do not talk to anyone on the second floor. That's the illusion schools. And if this is something that they've hooked up, then that'll just make it worse. But I'll get to the bottom here. And I'll be in contact.
Muldair.
Hmm.
Might I inquire about your enchanted wing?
What about it?
I've heard an awful lot about how you're not supposed to go there, and I was curious as to why.
Well, enchantment isn't where you're not supposed to go. It's just where it's very dangerous to go if you don't have proper equipment. Enchantments can change a lot of things. They can change the way you think, change the way that you act, change the way you live. And if you're good enough, it can change good to bad and bad to worse. That's why it's dangerous. Especially if you don't know what you're
You
doing.
had me at dangerous.
Meanwhile, back in William's classroom, as the class begins to file out, the owl at the front waves you forward. Now, you were talking about the advanced class, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Do you have your sigil with you?
Oh, right. And I pull it back out of my shirt and I show him.
All right. That says that you enrolled in the evocation school. Are you switching classes?
I have since learned, since I made that decision, that this would be much more attuned to my way of traveling and adventuring.
Okay, roll deception. Every once in a while, William forgets that he's not a rogue.
That's not a true statement. Often William forgets that he is not a rogue. Oh,
I wish to assist from afar. Oh, here we go.
16.
Oh.
16.
Not bad.
Solid. That's probably the first time Amir has lied successfully. And probably only because it was about adventuring, which makes it so that it sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
it was half true.
Just enough. And the owl sort of nods and says, yes, absolutely. Evocation's for losers anyway. Now, if you need some assistance, I could probably get you into the next class, but it doesn't meet until sundown. If you're looking for supplies, though, we've got a supply closet over here. Just make sure that if you're going to take anything from there, you take it from the second year shelf, because that's what's going to be in the advanced class, and otherwise you won't have the right components. You really don't have access to the Grimoire yet, but I suppose with supervision, I could let you in there. Are you ready to go now?
Yeah, are you okay if I step into the supply closet real quick to see if there's anything I possibly need? What do you recommend from there?
Just go to the second shelf, and it's got all of the equipment necessary for the second level enchantment school. I will unlock the door to the library, and I'll meet you inside with the Grimoire.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll something.
Sure. Roll something.
I'm guessing. What's the word? I wish to detect whether or not he's trying to deceive me or he's trying to trick me. So that'd be insight, right?
That's insight. Yep. They changed it to that instead of sense motive. That's a hard one. That is a hard one.
Is it?
Yeah, you rolled a 1 and got a +5.
Okay, because on my screen it looked like it was like stuck right between the 1 and 19.
Yep. You got a total of a 6, but it's a nat 1.
So I want you to know, outside of game and everything, my daughter texts me and says, I feel like he shouldn't do that because it's a trap.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I feel like
so
as I rolled a 1, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna walk into the trap.
Yes,
yeah,
you are.
so your insight on this says that you don't know whether or not you can trust this bird. In fact, it seems like it's entirely likely an enchantment professor would be doing something to trick you. All enchantment wizards do.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
Especially being it's an owl. Isn't he talking to an owl?
His name's Professor
Talking
Hoover.
to a cat too.
I mean, that is true. We were talking to a cat earlier.
So I would rethink it, but I'll make a mental note to go into the supply closet later and check the second shelf. But I would walk into the library to follow him.
Okay. As you enter in, most of the books that are in here are pretty old, like starting to decay. And that's pretty impressive considering all of the wards that they have up to try and prevent that. But there's one huge green book that has what looks to be like a clawed hand across the top of it, almost bestial. big brass guard over one side, and on the other side is a big brass lock. And the professor goes and pulls a key out from within his shirt and unlocks the lock and takes it off and unfolds it. So second level, ooh, we should probably start you off with something simple. How about, what do you know about suggestion spells?
Just how useful they are. That's actually one of the things I was hoping to learn about.
Well, excellent. That's definitely up our alley. Let's see. Let me write down a few things for you here, and that'll get you started.
Also, Miles, I wish to think very, very hard the back of my head. Is that book something that would interest you? I did not say that out loud. I just think it really, really pointedly. Is that book something that would interest you? Do I get any response?
That book would interest just about me.
I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
That book would interest just about any.
Not a rogue. Damn it.
You're going to want to be careful, though.
I think just the symbol question mark.
Well, I mean, you've probably been at least a little bit of danger ever since the owl left.
I think really hard. The owl is not in this room.
You've got a mask that lets you see through all illusions, and you're asking me?
Oh. So I glance around the room, and is anybody looking at me right now?
The owl has his back to you as he's flipping through the pages and going and writing down spell components and somatic like ideations and things like that, like writing down how to cast the spells.
I put my right hand on the top haft of my axe, and you take my left hand, reach down, pull the mask, and place it on my face.
Okay. He doesn't react. So you put the mask on, and the moment that you do, you see that you're not in the room alone, but you're not in the room with this owl. What's standing in front of you looks like, I don't know, maybe 7.5, 8 feet tall, hunched over, covered in these black boils, these skittering little beetles that are rolling across its skin, almost like scales. And these long, taloned fingers that sort of crook awkwardly as they are flipping through the pages and transcribing in their own inky blood onto this scroll work. And you can hear the owl's voice still. You know, my favorite part about these spells is that if you do them correctly, no one will even know you're doing them. And he turns around and looks at you, and the face that you are looking at is terrifying. It is this gaunt, wretched, sort of torn thing. Not undead, far from it. Almost worse. And its eyes are this bright white. And it looks at you with this jagged, crooked, huge smile. And you hear the owl's voice. And all of a sudden, you realize as you're looking up at those eyes that the owl's eyes were down here. Is everything okay, lad? And that's where I'm calling game this week.
Mother puss buckets.
I don't like that.
Come on, we got 9 minutes.
Well, William said he had a story. I feel like I should wrap now.
I appreciate that. Yes.
Should I leave the recording going, William?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's hear this.
About 10 years ago, the very first session that I played with a group of friends, I was a ranger dwarf who was a complete pervert. It was a real big stretch for me. Best friend was a female elf archer. Other friend was a gnome wizard. We had a human cleric, halfling paladin, and then we had a human barbarian. So most of what the conversation happened in the first couple hours of this game, the four big bad frontline fighters all said that me and the gnome should stay back, and I should try to protect the gnome to the best of my ability. They would take care of whatever we happen to come across. And we were told to go into this dungeon and try to find an object inside to give to this king so that he could protect it from being used in the wrong way. Long story short, we never should have gone to this place to get the damn thing. But we get all the way through this, and through every single fight, I am trying to get for. I was dual wielding at the time. I had an axe and a scimitar, and I'm trying my hardest to step forward and help. And the four big baddies were always taking out everybody and telling me, no, stay back, dwarf, we got this. Stay back, gnome, we got this. Okay, fine. We can handle anything you throw at us in here. That you guys are just on support. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. We get to the boss. And the boss turns and is wearing a black tattered robe that looks like it's thousands of years old, covered in cobwebs and dirt and mold and horrible, horrible things. The face that was underneath it peeks out, and all we can see is a jutting jawbone. And our seasoned players all went, oh shit. And the creature known as a lich spoke one word. And the DM goes, roll a will save. And the four big, bad, hardcore frontline fighters peed themselves as they ran their full movement from the room, leaving me and the gnome standing in front of the giant, undead, truly terrifying creature. The gnome rolled 20. I rolled 19. We looked at each other, looked back at it, and the gnome goes, I can't make this up. My fully grown friend went, fuck it, let's kill him. So I drew both my weapons and uttered a very loud battle cry and charged at the damn thing. He couldn't hit me for the first 3 rounds. It was great. He finally went, oh, right, I forgot I have spells. He cast a spell on me. It didn't work. I passed my will save. Meanwhile, the 4 big burly characters are trying desperately to pass their will save so they can come running back into the room. No one is passing this, and the DM literally leans over and goes, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to clear your character the first night, but he's going to die. I went, okay, how's that going to happen? He goes, as soon as he hits you, you're going to die. I went, I better hurry up then. Almost. Where's your computer? I forgot it worked. Sorry, hon. And he actually does hit me and takes out 2/3 of my hit points because he rolled low on the damage. The DM went, that was actually pretty lucky. Meanwhile, I'm level 2, by the way, just in case that tells anybody here anything.
Going against a lich at level
This fight shouldn't happen.
right?
Exactly. He was expecting 6 against 1 to be a fair fight. He was not expecting everybody to roll freaking 1. So the gnome is casting every single spell he can think of. He actually does run out of spells, and he literally pulls out a club and goes, I don't know what to do with this, but I'll try. The lich hits him once, and he drops to 0 hit points at my feet. My character gets all kinds of pissed off, and he goes, William, you don't have rage. I went, right, wrong character. So I looked at my sheet real quick and tried to think of anything I could use to actually get this guy, and nothing came to mind. I had no extra special skills other than, tracking and survival and everything else. I went, screw it. So I rolled again. I rolled both the D20s to try to hit him, and I rolled 20s. I can't make this up. There are 6 witnesses in the room. The DM goes, go ahead and confirm that. I rolled again, confirm. And I went, okay, before we go any further, called shot. He goes, really? Called shot. I want his right arm. DM literally says, for 220s, yeah, that's fine. Cut his damn arm off, falls to the ground. I turn around, I pour a healing potion on the gnome. I grab him, I start dragging him out of the room. The Lich is screaming, pissed off, everything else. He reaches out, casts Mage Hand on me. The DM forces it to pull me back into the room. The creature casts the Terrify again, and I rolled an 18. Passed it by 1. He is literally reaching his hand up to cut my head off as the cleric finally gets back in the room and channels, sending the damn thing to the nether regions. A small phylactery, a small jar, a bottle, basically, drops to the ground in front of him. He has disappeared. The cleric goes, I didn't even think that would work. The other 3 big burlies walk in the room and go, damn, nice job. Couldn't help myself. I looked at all 4 of them. Listen here, piss for brains. No more putting me in the back.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And the moral of the whole story is, never doubt the dwarf.
Never doubt the dwarf.
Look, I will doubt you as a dwarf's lying ability every day.
That should somehow
Yeah.
work tonight, though.
You got a 16 by luck.
I think that's the highest roll I've seen you do, period.
We're hitting double digits, William.
It's
Uh,
progress, as long as it's steady.
Well, thank you
However,
all for coming tonight. I had a lot of fun.
I want to point out you rolled a 16 to your deception so that you could then roll a 6 to see if they're lying to you. Now you're stuck in a room with some gigantic creature that you don't really know what it is, and an owl who what isn't really an owl, who's looking at you like, I could eat you. And you have no support whatsoever. That 16 did you a lot of good.
Mhm.
To quote
So-
my ancestors, our luck only works when it's funny.
There you go.
So who framed Roger Rabbit then?
At that, I'm going to stop the recording.